let's be real for a second. We all get there, eventually. That moment when the life you've so carefully built just starts to crack. And maybe that's where you are right now. When the ground underneath you just gives way and your sense of control completely shatters. It feels so final, doesn't it? It feels like an ending. But what if it's not? What if it's actually a beginning? Okay, let's really dig into this because this little shift in thinking, well, it's everything. That moment of breaking isn't a dead end, it's a starting line. It's the point where you stop trying to predict every storm and you start learning how to build a better ship, one that's capable of navigating any sea, no matter how rough. This is where the work begins. This is where you can rebuild yourself, stronger than you ever were before. So, where do we even start? Well, the good news is you don't have to invent the map from scratch. We can actually call on the wisdom of three of the greatest minds in history: the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, and the pioneering psychologist Carl Jung. I want you to think of them as your personal mentors for this storm. Now, here's what's so powerful about these three. Their philosophy wasn't born in some quiet, cozy library. No, it was forged in the absolute trenches of human experience. You've got Aurelius leading Rome through war and plague. You've got Nietzsche facing down illness, isolation, and just profound personal loss. And Jung, he took this courageous, terrifying journey into the darkest corners of his own mind. Their wisdom is practical, it's battle-tested, it's real. So let's just quickly break down their different approaches. For Aurelius, the Stoic, it's all about building an inner fortress. It's this place of calm inside you that no external chaos can touch. And you build it by focusing only on your response. Then you have Nietzsche, who sees pain as essential fuel. He urges us to embrace our fate, all of it, the good and the bad, and use that adversity to literally forge a stronger version of ourselves. And finally, Jung guides us on this inward journey to confront our shadow, all the parts of ourselves we push down and deny so we can become truly whole. Three very different but incredibly powerful paths to strength. All right, so that's the high-level view. But what about right now? I mean, in the moment, when the pain is sharp and the future feels, well, impossible. Let's get practical. Let's move from theory to a concrete action plan, a toolkit you can use right in the middle of a crisis, forged from their combined wisdom. We're going to walk through a 3-step lifeline. Think of it as a sequence of actions you can take the second you feel overwhelmed. First, you accept what is. Second, you find a way to use the pain. And third, you look inward for the lesson. So let's start with step 1. Okay, step 1 comes to us straight from Aurelius and his Stoic dichotomy of control. It's a really simple but profound exercise. Just draw a line in your mind between what you cannot control, the event, another person, the past, and the one thing you can always control, how you choose to respond. See, your power isn't in preventing the wave from crashing, it's in learning how to surf it. And this slide just illustrates that shift perfectly. When you ask, why me, you're casting yourself as the victim in a story where you have absolutely no power. It keeps you chained to the past. But the very moment you switch to this is happening, what now? You grab the pen, you become the author of what comes next. You move from a passive position to an active one. And that is the first step to taking your power back. All right, let's move to step 2, inspired by Nietzsche's idea of amor fati, which literally means a love of one's fate. Now, this goes way beyond just accepting what happened. It is an active choice to embrace everything that's happened as necessary. The pain, the setback, the heartbreak. It's no longer just a wound. It's now the raw material. It's the stone and mortar for whatever you're going to build next. You know, Marcus Aurelius actually put it perfectly with this powerful idea. The obstacle isn't blocking your path forward. Overcoming it is the path forward. This very challenge, the one you're facing right now, it's an opportunity to cultivate a depth of character, a wisdom, a compassion that a life of ease could never, ever give you. The way through is directly into it. And for step 3, our guide is Jung. A crisis has a funny way of activating our shadow. You know, the parts of ourselves we'd rather just ignore. That sudden rage, the envy, the deep-seated fear. The goal here is not to act on these feelings, and it's definitely not to shame yourself for having them. Your only job is to witness them. Just observe them without judgment, almost like a curious scientist. So here's the crucial point. Your intense emotional reaction isn't a failure. It's feedback. It is pure data pointing directly to the unhealed parts of you that need your attention. By observing your shadow, you learn what you need to integrate to become a stronger, more complete human being. It's like a check engine light for your soul. Okay, so that's your emergency plan, your first aid kit. But true mental strength, it isn't forged in a single moment of crisis. It's built day by day through consistent practice. So let's move from the emergency room to the gym and talk about 3 daily exercises for building resilience that will actually last. Here are 3 simple but incredibly powerful habits. First, the stoic pause, just creating a tiny bit of space between a stimulus and your response. Second, voluntary hardship, deliberately choosing small discomforts. And third, shadow journaling, exploring your triggers to understand where they really come from. Think of them as small, daily deposits into your bank of mental fortitude. Let's just zoom in on voluntary hardship for a second, because this one is a total game changer. When you take a cold shower or you do a workout when you really don't feel like it, you're not just getting clean or fit, you are sending a direct message to your nervous system that says, I can handle discomfort, I choose my actions. This builds what we call anti-fragility, the ability to not just withstand shocks, but to actually get stronger from them. And that's really what this all comes down to. You don't wait until you're under attack to learn how to defend yourself, right? You train in times of peace to prepare for the inevitable battles of life. These daily exercises, this is that training. They fortify your mind so that when the storms do come, you're not just hoping to survive, you're ready to lead. As we start to bring this all together, we arrive at the one central truth that connects Aurelius, Nietzsche, and Jung. It's the single most empowering idea of all. No matter what happens to you, the ultimate power is always yours, and that is the power to choose your response. This quote from Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust, is the ultimate testament to this truth. I mean, he realized that even in the most horrific circumstances imaginable, when literally everything else was stripped away, this one freedom remained. That tiny space between what happens to you and how you respond, that is where all of your power and your growth live. And that is the heart of it all. What happened to you may not have been your fault, but your healing, your growth, your story from this point forward, that is 100% your responsibility. And listen, that is not a burden. It is the ultimate form of freedom. It means you are the one holding the pen. So this crisis, this pain, this breaking point, it's not the end of your story. It's simply the raw material for the next, more resilient chapter. Those broken pieces aren't trash to be thrown away. They are the building blocks. The only question left is the one that only you can answer. What kind of masterpiece are you going to build with them?